here we're going to read data into MatLab. So the way I believe I showed you before, or one way, is we could create a vector using the colon. You've seen that. We can also put a step into the colon. And notice what happens when we have this step larger and where it goes beyond the end. We can also use variables in this. So if we say an increment equals 2, for example, then b equals 1 colon increment colon 9, for example. And we can go backwards. Okay, and these variables, you can use them for the beginning. You can create variables for the beginning, for the end, the increment. All right. Now what we're going to do is read an Excel data file into MatLab. So as an example, I created this Excel file. Its name is example. And notice that it has values, it has headers, it has missing values. So I create this and I put it in the same folder as my MATLAB scripts. And let's go ahead and run this and see what happens. Let's see if we can import the data. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable named file name, and it's going to be example because it's the Excel file. So file name example. And then I'm going to say all the numbers are equal to XLS read. That's a magic word in MATLAB. And then the argument for it is the name of the Excel file it's going to read. So I should come up with a variable all numbers. Let's see what happens. So under my variables, I have the file name variable. It's just example. And then all numbers, if I look at that, you can see that it is the Excel file, it's the values, the row column structure is maintained, the headers are not included, and within the data where we had missing or some other character indicating that there wasn't a value there, then MATLAB puts in NaN for not a number. Okay. So now we have it in. Now we may need to transpose this. This is actually a matrix. We may need to transpose this matrix. And let me unecho this. So again, we run it, and here is the all numbers matrix. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to transpose it. And I'm going to maintain the same file name. I could create a new variable for the transposed one, but I'll use the same one. And magic word in MATLAB is transpose. And what we're transposing is, well, it could be all numbers. Again, that'd be confusing, but we'll do the XLS read file name, the same as we did up here. So we're going to transpose that, and let's see what this looks like. So it should show down in the command window. Let's take a look. And now the original all numbers looks like the Excel sheet. We ran that before. But now when we transpose, rows become columns and vice versa. So you can take just a minute to look and see what happens when we transpose. Okay, so our all numbers variable is the transposed, and we'll double check that. We can see that it's the transposed. It's this variable. The first all numbers variable was overwritten by the second all numbers variable. Okay, so we'll leave that. And now what we're going to do is we don't work with matrices in this class. We work with row vectors. So let's turn our data into row vectors, and we can do it here. So I'm going to create a vector only, which is going to be a single row of the matrix. So it's going to call up the all numbers variable, and I'm going to select only the second row, and I'm going to leave column blank. Remember that these are always in row first, column second, row column. So let's run. Let me unecho these, or let me unecho these so we don't see them. Let's run this. And so now you can see that I took only the second row and created a vector. Now if I want a part of that vector, if I want to take only a piece of it, I can do this colon operator again. So I'm going to take only the values from 2 to 3. Let's run that. So the small vector is only these two values. Let's do that again, and just so you see, we can take, we'll take 4, we'll make a vector that is 3 elements, and we'll run that, and you can see those are the 3 elements. Okay, thank you.